There's no man in town half-ass. Ooh, chimichanga. Perfect. Give up, man. It's wrong.
Wait, why? What up, guys? Otterpop here, back with another Patreon request. I actually haven't done one of these in quite a little bit, because, you know, my family was moving for a bit, so, things became a little bit iffy with projects. But I'm trying to get back on track. And it starts with this Patreon request, which I'm sorry to the patron who requested this. I'm getting a little bit late to this, but it's okay because I'm still getting to it. I do very much apologize. So somebody requested that I watch something called Deadpool the Musical. It's a Beauty and the Beast Gaston parody. So color me incredibly intrigued because I am a huge fan of the Disney Renaissance era, especially of the soundtracks. Honestly, Lion King is probably one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. It is that freaking good. I mean, you can't go wrong with Elton John. But Beauty and the Beast, that's also a very good soundtrack too. I mean, they got some really fun and melodic tones. I mean, it's just fantastic. So I know it very well, so I can probably be a good judge of how well this parody is. And I also, you know, love Marvel in general. I mean, I don't really care as much for some of their more recent releases. I've actually kind of dropped off, but back in the heyday of Marvel releases, Deadpool was just comedy gold, and I feel like he still is. Granted, the second movie wasn't quite as entertaining as the first. There were definitely a lot of highlights, but the original Deadpool was very good. It was very worth watching, and I mean, you can't go wrong with frickin' Ryan Reynolds. You just can't. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go watch this, but first off, I want to give a big thanks and shout out to all of my current patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, especially during the move. That's very much appreciated. And of course, if anybody else is wanting to help me out or check into some of my stuff, you know, I do have a Patreon, but there are also YouTube memberships. Granted, the YouTube memberships are only for my videos, and it's often, you know, early access, sometimes very early access, like months early, depending on the content, or even exclusive access too. But Patreon, it's got so many more rewards. You get so much more in-depth commentaries from me. You get some stuff that just won't be published on YouTube ever, you know, behind the scenes stuff, especially for video projects, art projects, and writing projects, which I need to get back into some of my writing stuff. So anyways, let's go ahead, let's get started, let's watch this. Hold up. Following is a non-profit, unofficial fan film not intended for commercial use. It was solely made for fun. This film is not authorized by or any way involved with 20th Century Fox or Marvel Studios. Got it. Thanks for the disclosure.
Well, I'm an idiot. I could have sworn the invite said it was a costume party. That guy gets it.
What guy?
Love the hair. So, what's tonight's theme? Everyone's dressing like what the 90s thought was tough? Oh, come on. Bartender me. Ask me, rough day while you rub the same spot over and over?
Do you ever shut up?
I know. I'm a chatty Cathy. But what are you going to do? Sew my mouth shut? Don't answer that.
You stay here, Deadpool. It's gonna get ugly real fast.
Ooh, was that a musical cue?
Gosh, it disturbs me to see you, Deadpool. In fact, it usually does. Cause you look like my balls under that hood, Deadpool. Just thinking of it kills my buzz.
You know, normally that would have just hurt my feelings, but damn it, I've always wanted to be in a musical.
There's no man in town as reviled as you, and hell, they all wish you would die. Even though you've proven quite tricky to kill, everyone's going to try.
Oh. Wow, okay, so first off, if that is actually this older guy's singing, that is deep. That is impressive. That's, I mean, do you hear that? That's like, oh my gosh, musical terms. That dude's voice sounds like it almost goes low enough to be like a baritone. And frick me, I love baritone voices. Like baritone singing. Baritone is a singing voice, dumbass. I don't know why, but I love baritone voices. I'm not sure if it's because I'm an alto, so I generally like to sing in the lower registers anyways, and I just like some of the lower registers with a lot of songs. That's why a lot of my favorite songs to sing are by male artists. Again, I don't know if this older guy is actually singing. If he is, fucking impressive. If not, which it is possible that he's not, and he's just like, you know, doing like a not a cover, but lip sync basically. So he could, that's either his actual like singing voice or he's doing a lip sync. Either way, loving that voice. And this Deadpool is friggin' fantastic already. It almost sounds like Ryan Reynolds, but evidently it's not. Doesn't quite have that fourth wall break raunchy humor that Deadpool does, but it definitely gets close, I will say that.
Everyone's going to try. No one's
Slick as Deadpool, no one's quick as Deadpool. No one punches you right in the dick like Deadpool, for there's no man in town half-as, ooh, chimichanga. Perfect, give up, man, it's wrong.
Wait, why?
You can ask Anna, Natty, or Betsy, and they'll tell you whose team they prefer to be on.
Avengers. X-Men.
Come on, say X-Force.
Bugger off, Wade.
So what's going on with this threesome anyway? Sexy, Recon, Super Charlie's Angels? Oh, I could be your Bosley.
Watch your back, sugar.
Oh, will you?
Fun like Deadpool, shooting gun like Deadpool.
Oh my.
Should not kill in time like Deadpool.
My kill count is really intimidating. They killed that guy, that Deadpool.
Even.
his balls, cut off his mouth.
Hey, sexy friends, won't you please help me out?
He's just like, oh.
Deadpool gets to win the Deadpool.
If Spider-Man were here, that'd be really cool.
You're lucky I was passing through here.
Yay! Your tights do great things for your arse.
Hey, you're no slouch in that way either.
Thanks, voice.
What?
But every last inch of me's covered in scars. Oh, shit! Motherfucker. No one flips like Deadpool, changes clips like Deadpool. No one wields katanas and rips like Deadpool.
Wow.
I'm especially good at decapitating.
Oh my gosh.
Heads roll for Deadpool.
When I was a boy,
It is.
I
That's
humped
roll.
this unicorn every morning to help me get off.
Oh.
But lately I'm thinking I might hump the Hulk. Tell me, what is that like, roaming off?
Jokes like Deadpool or butts like Deadpool. No.
Even the chicks are getting in on this. I didn't even really recognize that was Romanov.
Spoon and watch Conan later. My, what a guy.
Hey, who's gonna help clean this shit up?
Not it.
Aw, fucking
Not it.
perfect.
Directed and edited by Julian Higgins, or Julian. Michael Parker, okay, got it. Written by Paul Bianchi. Wow. Brian Danner. Good stunts, I'll say that. It kind of looked a little bit like an actual Deadpool fight. Yeah. Alright, now who is everybody? Cast. Okay, hold up. Okay, so we have Deadpool with Michael Parker. Again, dude sounded a little bit like Deadpool. It's kind of crazy. Deadpool stunts, Adam Critchlow, Black Widow, Monette Moyo. Oh, Rogan Psylocke. That's who... Wolverine. Was Wolverine in this? I didn't see Wolverine. What? Spider-Man beheaded. What? Was Wolverine in this? For stunts performed by Sword Fights Incorporated. Whoa! Look at all those stunt performers. Oh my god, this was an entire production. I mean, look at all these people. What? For this little Beauty and the Beast parody of a Marvel character. And this is how many people it took for that. Just for that little production. That little itty bitty production. It took all this. It's so crazy to me. Filmmaking, a lot of thanks. Our supportive friends and loved ones. No unicorns were harmed in the making of this non-profit, non-commercial film. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Did you really leave the unicorn?
Precious. Excuse me.
Oh, there's
That's my
Wolverine.
unicorn.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, let's go do that. Have you got time for a fastball special? Ooh, 2 in the pool, 1 in the stool.
I was about to say, where the frick was Wolverine? Then I figured it out. I mean, just look at this fighting choreography.
You right in the dick like Deadpool, for there's no man in town half as ooh, chimichanga. Perfect. Give up, man.
He didn't deserve that.
Flips like Deadpool, changes.
Seriously, this stunt work and fight choreography is freaking fantastic.
Good at decapitating.
Heads roll for Deadpool.
Jokes like Deadpool or butts like
Seriously, like, this is just crazy.
You guys want a spoon and watch
Oh my god.
later?
I mean, just look at this freaking carnage. I mean, seriously, there was so much work that was clearly put into this. It's amazing. And the humor in this is almost Deadpool worthy. Almost. It's I don't think it's quite there, but it is very, very, very damn close with, you know, the both the spoken dialogue and the singing dialogue.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, let's go do that. Have you got time for a fastball special? Ooh, 2 in the pool, 1 in the stool.
Oh man, that is obviously a nod to the one, pretty much the only F-bomb in the MCU. And it was frickin', oh my gosh, I'm suddenly, it was Hugh Jackman with the Go Fuck Yourself in the, one of the X-Men movies. I think from the 2010s. I don't know. I never watched the X-Men movies. I never really cared as much about them, but I mean, again, that does showcase the type of humor in this video. It's almost Deadpool worthy. It's so freaking close. This is incredibly impressive in terms of how well it was made, especially considering this is a fan production. Also, I'm wondering how many people actually thought that this was Ryan Reynolds. I could tell by the voice immediately. I'm like, that sounds very close, but that's not Ryan Reynolds. In his first 2 lines, I could tell. I don't know. Granted, I'm not the best with audio recognition, but for some reason, if I'm familiar enough with a voice, I generally have a good idea for how it sounds, even if the age of the person is a little different. Granted, if we're talking different stages of adulthood, people's voice rarely changes. If we're talking like teenager or child, yeah, it usually changes a little bit. Not what I'm talking about though. But talking and singing, this guy did sound a lot like Ryan Reynolds. I kid you not. And it's just so well put together. I hope Ryan Reynolds has seen this at some point, because this is freaking gold. This is amazing. It's so crazy how this is a fan-made film. It's just a fan-made film. It's not an animation. It's not an adaptation. Nothing like that. It's just a fan-made film. That's all it is. It's fan-made. That's crazy. There had to have been at least 100 people. Hello. Ooh, food. Yeah, I seriously hope that Ryan Reynolds has seen this at some point. I mean, whether people know it or not, because I think he'd be proud of a production like this. This is nicely put together, and the way the lyrics changed, especially the decapitated line. I'm also very good at decapitating or something like that. That was beautiful. So many of these lines twisted to fit Deadpool's anti-hero raunchy image. It's good. It's very good. I'm glad to have watched this. Oh man, imagine if this little single song parody was instead of movie parody. Imagine. Although I imagine that also would be very difficult to pull off. But that's why you get little snippets like this, because little snippets like this work. They absolutely work. And the singing, that was done very nicely. I could tell when they were using either their abdomen or their diaphragm. You can actually tell the difference between what somebody's using. Like, you know, I am so good at decapitating, or something like that. You know, that was using my diaphragm. Or I could be using just, you know, I could just be using my abdomen, just like my lungs, you know. I am so good at decapitating. Can you hear the difference? Granted, it was in a very different pitch, but I'm not sure if you can hear the voice. Because when you use your diaphragm, you can actually project a lot more. So I could tell that they were definitely holding back a little bit on some of the vocals. There was definitely more of the lung singing as opposed to the diaphragm singing. Which, the diaphragm singing, it has more volume, it has more power, it has more richness to it. Whatever pitch it's in too, whether it's freaking baritone like that guy in the intro, again, I'm pretty sure it was baritone, that was definitely diaphragm singing. But there were a number of instances, not just a couple, like you might hear in some songs. I mean, some songs don't even have any lung singing at all, but there were definitely multiple instances where there was lung singing.
Heroes should not kill in time like Deadpool.
Yeah, yeah, Romanov's, Black Widow's, singing right there definitely sounded a bit like lung singing.
My kill count is really intimidating.
Intimidating. You know, that's powerful singing. that's diaphragm singing for sure. Or intimidating. That's lung singing right there. So you could hear the difference between the two. Again, it's not that it's bad. Like, sometimes that's kind of what you have to do if you're limited, whether it's, you know, you're also doing fight choreography, or it's just a high note or even a low note that you can't necessarily reach. It's more common with higher notes that you can't reach. But, and again, it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with that. I personally just prefer a little bit more power in vocals. That's also why I like singing as much as I do. I like to have that feeling, that rush of power in my abdominal area. I don't know why. It's just very satisfying to utilize. But no, this was very good. I liked this production. This is an amazing parody, and again, entirely made by fans. Crazy. That's absolutely insane. I commend every single one of these individuals, and you know, I went through the list earlier, but I mean, every single individual has gotten credited, and understandably so. It's astonishing how much effort, not even just how much effort, but how many people went into this single production. That's absolutely insane. Filmmaking is something that I do understand bits and pieces of, and I'm learning more, I feel like, every week, month, year, whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. But it still amazes me, you know, just how many people are involved. You go to some typical production nowadays, we're talking thousands of people involved in a single project. I mean, those credits roll for like 10 minutes straight. They didn't used to do that. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I think every creative, in whatever position they are, artist, screenwriter, producer, heck, even the stuntmen and the people who work on the lights and the costume design, stuff like that, like, everybody deserves some credit. It's just crazy that so many productions nowadays, like the ones on the big screen, I mean, are requiring thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of people. I hate to say it, but I think studios need to stop making so many big budget films, because it's oversaturating the industry so badly. And unfortunately, a lot of movies tend to suffer because of it. But this is different, because this is creative. This is taking two existing IPs and mashing them together, and at the same time remaking them into something completely different. That is basically what this is. That requires talent, that requires creativity, that requires a team of creative and talented people. But with all these big studios and these big budget films, I feel like we're just seeing the same things rehashed over and over again, whether it's from a story perspective, from an animation perspective, from, you know, I don't know, something like that. But I feel like that so many of these overall stories are becoming repeats, and that, well, that's part of the reason why I no longer go to movie theaters. That's only part of the reason, that is. I just don't care for most new movies nowadays, because they're just too many of them. Because they're oversaturated, and, you know, they don't feel exciting enough. They don't feel like enough creative direction or inspiration has been taken. And then you get stuff like this. That's not even on the big screen. Hell, it's not even my official studio. Like a big studio, I guess. It's from a team of people who love the content that they're working with, who genuinely love it. These are the kinds of projects we need. I mean, not just on the YouTube platform and you know, the smaller indie creators, but even from the big studios. We need more stuff like this. Absolutely. So thank you to the patron who requested that I watch this, and I'm sorry for going on a little bit of a rant, ramble, tangent, whatever you want to call it, but I had feelings, and I wanted to share them. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go ahead and, you know, like this video if you liked it, which, you know, who knows? I liked it. I don't know if you liked watching me watch this, but hey, you do you. But like this if you want to, subscribe for more content. You know, I know this is my Otterpop TV, but I'd really like to have my main Otterpop channel get a little bit more love, so thank you kindly, but again, you don't have to, just thought I'd put that out there. So thank you all for watching, hope you guys enjoyed this, and as usual, until the next video, guys, check you laters. I forgot which hand I do it with.